everyone. Welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing today? Make sure you put in the chat where you're from. Say hello. Like to see where everybody's from and get to know you better. Thank you for the great response yesterday. I hope you found it useful. I hope that what we learned today will help you advance your skills in scrap quilting as well as making your jumbo scrappy star. This is great. All right. Just making sure that we are going live here. If you can see me, maybe say hi. Okay. I'm not seeing me. This is making me nervous. Oh, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Okay. Thanks. Sorry. Hey, welcome Cynthia from Ohio. We are happy to have you here today. Excuse me, I've been a little froggy this morning. I don't know what's up. Hey Eve, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. So, how did everybody do yesterday? Did you have fun playing in your scraps? Hey Helen, happy to have you. Lynn from New Mexico. You can't hear me? Robin, can anyone else hear me, or are we having a problem that way? Let me know. Thanks, Eve, for letting me know I'm live. Can you hear me? Robin says she can't hear me. You're seeing me fine. Are you hearing me, Polly? Let's see. Okay, you can hear me fine. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear me. I appreciate that. Robin, maybe check your speaker on your computer to make sure that your volume's up. That may be your problem. I'm glad it's not on my end because I'm not really technical. We would really have a problem. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know that you can hear me. I appreciate that. All right. Like I said, I don't know why, but I'm froggy this morning. Maybe the change in seasons is affecting me. But all right. Welcome. Welcome. Did you have fun doing a scrap pull yesterday? Did you get in your scraps? Did you have fun seeing what might go together? Did you decide what you want to use in your quilt? Anybody want to voice up, tell us what they're doing with their quilt? Did they choose a theme? Did they go around the color wheel? Did they use my little trick of picking a favorite fabric and pulling around it? How are things going? What did you even bother to go into your scraps? Maybe you were busy yesterday. I had a lovely day with my daughter. She was up from school. She doesn't have school on Mondays, and she had gotten it off of work, so she came up. She lives down south by my parents going to school, and so she was up here, and we went to lunch and we went shopping. It was a fun day. So that was great. So maybe you had a fun day with someone. And oh, Lynn says she's got tons of blue scraps, so that's what she's going to use up. Great, Lynn. I can't wait to see your quilt. That will be fabulous. Okay. Oh, Helen is thinking of using recycled shirts. That will be cool. I can't wait to see what you do. That will be neat to see. I like that idea. I learned so much from Helen. She just expands my imagination with her ideas. So thank you for sharing them. So great. Anybody else want to voice in? What are you using? So we want to see. So while you type that in, let me see here. Okay, we got this. I'm going to make myself small down here in the corner, and we're going to get on with our little show today. I hope you find it useful. Okay, I'm going to go right here. Can barely see me. But so today we are going to talk about our design plan, how we come up with a quilt plan, things to use in our quilt plan, things to consider. So that's what we're doing today. So a design plan or a quilt plan is a guide to help you figure out the number and color of the design blocks in your quilt. So my original Jumbo Scrappy Star, I did like a pinwheel theme, and I just went off based how big my scraps were with the green bin, knowing what to cut up, and I did just a little sketch of the pinwheels. So that's what I planned there. All right. Sandra said that she is using scraps in primary colors. That will be a bright, happy quilt. I love bright, happy quilts. Okay, so this was my son's quilt, the wedding quilt for Josh and Alexa. And like I said, I designed it mostly based on the size of my scraps. So I cut out as many squares as I could that were 6-inch because remember this was supposed to be a quick quilt. Hurry and get done in my busy June before they got married. So I did a lot of just solid blocks that are 6.5 inches. In your workbook, if you want to scale your quilt, you can do that. The information is in there. So, and then I chose a block theme. I wanted simple blocks. I didn't want anything that would take a lot of time or would be hard to piece. So I went with half square triangles and 4 patches as my block theme when my pieces got smaller. And since the pinwheels just came from those half square triangles, and we will learn how to make those later on in our course. So, and then by using value, even though I did this all monochromatic, by using the lights and darks of the various screens, I was able to make the pinwheels stand out and do that, and make different elements in my quilt stand out or blend depending on the value I used in the colors that the fabrics I was choosing. So this is the one that I did for this class since I gave away the wedding quilt. And we will discuss how we went into making this one. I'm gonna X myself out here. I'm gonna make myself big here and kind of draw up the plan, and then we're going to oh goodness. Okay, we'll do that. So this is my plan that I had when I designed this one because I knew I wanted a fall theme. So I decided I wanted a giant leaf. So what I did was I did some big half square triangles. These are the same size as the ones that are up here. Because based on my scraps, these ones are solid squares, but I didn't have enough, so I made this a 4 patch. But it's kind of a blended 4 patch. So the filling, that's different. No, this was my stem. Sorry, but one of these is a 4 patch because I didn't have enough. But this is my stem. And I did that just by taking my 6.5 inch square and slicing it down the middle and putting in, I did 1 3/4. I know that is generous. You could probably get away with 1.5 inch in there. And just sewing that in there, you can probably get away with a 1 inch actually. So I just sewed that in there and then I squared that up to my 6.5 inches to make my leaf. Okay, so that was one element that I added into, and then I did some flying geese. Because I think flying geese kind of say fall. Or that was my thoughts anyway. So I did flying geese this way. Based on the table runner that I had done in my crumb book, I knew that I liked the square in a square effect going with the flying geese. So I put one of those in there. And then I did my flying geese going this way. No, yes, I did. I didn't draw it that way, but. So I have flying geese going both ways out from it. That was my plan. I also planned, because in the fall the wind's kind of blowing and it's kind of windy, I thought it would be fun to add some pinwheels. So I just randomly put pinwheels in. So I put like 2 in each quadrant. Oh, this one's not supposed to be colored in. Okay, where did I put this one here? So you can decide how you want to put your elements in. I'm just kind of giving you my thought process as I designed this one. And I'm going to go in more in depth here in just a minute and kind of show you the different elements and how I use the value and how I put them into this. So that was my basic plan when I set out to do the fall Scrappy. Okay. So my basic main elements that I used were the leaf, and like I said, I told you how I put my 4 patch in the wrong place up on the design wall, but you get the gist of, you can see where everything is. And to make my leaf stand out, I used darker reds and rust tones and put the background with my light yellows and goldens so that there was a contrast so that the leaf would stand out. I did the kind of same thing while I was doing the flying geese. I just made sure the geese were darker and that the background was lighter so that they would show up. I did the same thing with the pinwheels so that the pinwheels would show up. I needed part of the pinwheel to be dark and part of it to be light. So as you're designing your elements, make sure that you take into consideration the colors and the tones that you are using around it, the value, so that the elements that you want to pop and stand out in your quilt will pop and stand out because there is a contrast between what the design is that you're wanting to pop out and the background. And you can do that with like a dark background and light design elements. That's up to you how you want to do that, but you do want to have that contrast, so make sure you keep that in mind. As you can see, I have these on the design wall as solid blocks, these little 4 patches that I've kind of outlined. I was having a hard time figuring out how to do that with the different programs I had. But anyway, there's not as much contrast there with the little 4 patches that I have going along there because I didn't want them to pop out. I wanted them to blend more. So those, and because I didn't, in my scraps were getting smaller and I didn't have enough of my fall colors in order to do all of those squares as a 6-inch square. And I needed to fill in that space and I didn't want to cut into new fabric. My goal is to try and bust through my scraps. So I just made them so that they were less of a contrast. And you can see that as we go in the black and white. Like I told you that trick yesterday where you can just put your camera on the black and white setting and you can kind of see, are the elements that I want to stand out standing out? If not, maybe you can adjust what fabrics you are using and how that works for you and your quilt and the design elements that you're implementing into your quilt. So, so this is this design that I came up with. I wanted to show you some of, so as you're designing your quilt plan, just think about what elements you want to use. Think about what size your scraps are. Maybe think about how lights and darks will play together. These are all things you want to consider as you're drawing up your plan. And so from your workbook, you can print out that plan and you can draw and sketch in that. If you haven't got your workbook, if you go down in the description after this live, when I repost this video for the replay, there will be, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time. There will be a link where you can get that workbook and use it. Grab your scraps, do the black and white trick. As Helen says, it's a nice trick. It really does highlight how the contrast is working in your quilt and whether you are getting that contrast or you just kind of think you are. Because like I stated yesterday, sometimes it can be tricky to tell what fabrics are really light and what are dark. So this is a trick and to use to make sure that what you're trying to achieve is actually getting achieved. So great. I'm glad that people are enjoying this. Thank you, Cynthia. I hope it gets to the top of your bucket list soon. Good luck with the wedding quilt. Quilting those bigger ones is hard. So I feel like it's kind of gets to be a marathon and I hit the wall and I'm like, I just want to do something else. Why can't this be done? So I wanted to show you from the last time I did the workshop so you could get some more ideas. So as I show these next few slides of what other people have done in their design plan and implemented into their quilts, I want you to get your creative juices going because we're going to go back to our giant quilt plan and we're going to draw up a couple more. So kind of get ideas going and then you can make suggestions of what you would like to see drawn up on the design or on our giant quilt plan here, so you can kind of get some ideas and we will play with that. So This one is Helen's quilt. She inspired me to make my background more scrappy as I saw hers. Besides the fact that my scraps had just gotten so they weren't big enough to do the whole squares, and I had just done the crumb quilt book. So I kind of implemented the crumb quilts with the designs that Helen had used. I used her as my sounding board. Well, I I didn't actually bounce ideas off of her. I just expanded from what she had done and used it to help make my design. So like they say, there's a book, it's called Still Like an Artist. You just gather ideas from lots of different people and and then make your own thing. Well, none of it is an original, it's a remix. Um, it's a great way to implement more and to expand your ideas as you learn and grow from each other. Okay, this one is Suzanne's. She used pinwheels. I like how she has the pops of yellow in there. So that is another idea. Hi, Ingrid from Venezuela. We are happy to have you join us. Um, Mary Ann, she did an echoing kind of heart thing with hers. So I kind of like how the green that goes around that heart kind of makes a scalloped look. I like what she did there. So these are just some ideas. So be thinking, and we'll go, like I said, and design some more plans up on the jumbo there. This is Rachel's. She used her Scrappy Halloween fabric for a fun and spooky Halloween quilt. So that is what we have there. Okay, I'm going to come back on. So after seeing these examples, what are some ideas that you think we can draw up on here? Let me get the next one going. All right. So here we have another jumbo Scrappy star plan. What are some things that we could put in here? So I'm thinking the sky's the limit. You could do a chain through your Scrappy star. And you could do that both ways, like an X through if you wanted to do that. Then all of these would come together. I'm going to have my one fabric. Instead of having them come together like this, you could put a heart here. You could put a log cabin here. You could put a star, another star here. You could play around with what's in the middle and what you are making come radiating out from with this chain effect. So, oh, Lynn says we could try some snowballs and some friendship stars. All right, let me get another one going here. Okay, so with our friendship star, that's actually a 9 patch, but you can do that. So we're just going to divide this into 9. And these are going to be half square triangles. So this is going to be our star. So, and then we can just randomly put these stars around. I'm going on the fly, guys, so I don't know how well my design is going to be here. But this is fun, and it's just an experiment. It doesn't have to be right. You can just print out another one and draw it up. You can just experiment with what's going on. She said some snowballs. So maybe we're going to snowball this in. Actually, let's see here. What if we did this snowball effect here? I'm going to do it over here where I have this free space. We'll do a... So this can be like a star point coming out, and we'll have this center part be, and then this can be like a star point coming out. And this one can be the star point coming out. And we can leave the center solid, or you could, so we can get this kind of star going with our friendship stars, and maybe we want to put another one up here. I'm just going to play with this. I'm not going to teach you how to make this block, but maybe if you did a kaleidoscope kind of effect with your snowball. Or you could do like a string block with your snowball. You can just kind of play, like if you have some orphan blocks that you want to, you could snowball an orphan block in here and do the star points out by snowballing the edges of the ones and next to it. There's just a lot of options that you could have. So here we go. We'll do another friendship star here. Or maybe I should have put another one of these to even it out. But you can just kind of just play with what the design that you want, what elements you want to put in your quilt. And like I said, if you don't like how it's turning out, you can erase it, or you can print out another oh, a snowman face. That would be really cute. Thank you, Polly. Yes, we could do our snowman. So let me see if I can find a spot where we can make our snowman. We could do a snowman up here. Then we could add some buttons to make his face. And we'll make his body. Make some buttons going down. So maybe you want to put a couple snowmen with your stars. You can just like experiment with how you want to put that together. Just some fun ideas to use. So does anybody else have any ideas of things that they would like to see implemented on here? We can kind of show. My pen doesn't want to go through all the layers of paper anymore. Yep. Okay, there we go. So, so you can play with scale. So we could have made like a giant friendship star out of this into a 9 patch. I'm going to do that with a pinwheel. So we can make a big pinwheel. This is kind of how I did the wedding quilt. So I did a big pinwheel and then I did little pinwheels around. So you can choose a block and then make a big one and then make some smaller ones going around in your quilt. So that's an idea that you can implement. Let's see, it's probably not here. And just as you scatter them around, you just might want to like, see how I'm not putting them in the same rows? I'm kind of scattering them around. That just gives it a feel for going all over. Maybe we want to put one up here. So, and then just remember that as you're putting them together, to play with the values so that they all come together. Like, I did a better job of, here I'm going to turn this off and we're going to go back. Okay. So in my fall Scrappy Star, based on the fact that I had done the, let's see here. On my Sun Star, there are places where the star points, because I did not, my points do kind of stand out, but some of them kind of blend in and don't go back or don't pop like I would like them to. I really took that into mind when I designed the fall one. So I really made sure that everything that was around in the star point, that it was a lot darker, because I wanted that to stand out more. I wanted my quilt to, I wanted that star to really pop. Okay. So let's go through these slides. Sorry to be jumping around. So those are things to consider. Remember, if you are liking what you're seeing with the Jumbo Scrappy quilt and you would like to go farther and learn more about scrap quilting and how to scale different blocks, how to twist and turn those different blocks and open up more possibilities and ways that you can use your scraps and make beautiful scrap quilts, then I have my Discovering Hidden Quilts course that is available. It's open right now. It's open until the 14th that you can enroll, and then it will not be available until next year. So if you are interested in this, if you are enjoying what you're learning here, then jump in. We'd love to have you in Discovering Hidden Quilts. Oh, sorry, Helen, I didn't see your comment till just now. But yes, with the snowman, you could add some trees and make it a whole scene inside of your star. That would be a really fun idea. I really like that idea. So in Discovering Hidden Quilts, I teach you how to do basic units. I give you several different ways to make the basic units so that you can discover which method works best for you. Thank goodness there's lots of different methods. So you can find which one you like and which one you are most accurate with. So as you design and make your quilts, you know what's comfortable and good for you and what works best for you. And in Discovering Hidden Quilts, then we take different quilt blocks. I show you different ways that you can make those quilt blocks so they get a different feel and different look. And then we throw them up on the design wall and we twist and turn them so you can see all the different ways, simple basic blocks like a rail fence, like a drunkard's path, or a log cabin. We see how all of those can go together in different ways so that you open lots of possibilities and lots of ways that you can use your scraps and create beautiful quilts. So in Discovering Hidden Quilts, we take our scraps and we turn them into beautiful quilts. If you sign up while this workshop is going for Discovering Hidden Quilts, then you receive this bonus material. There are not just the star, but there's also a sphere that I've like given examples, like you can make it into an apple, you can make it into a jack-o'-lantern, you can make it into a Christmas ornament. I've given examples of ways that you can fill in these different jumbo blocks, is what I call them, just like the jumbo Scrappy star. You will get these, you will get more instructions on blocks that you can use to fill them in. Like in this jumbo Scrappy star unit, I will show you how to do half square triangles, I'll show you how to do flying geese, and I will show you how to do 4 patches. But we will, in the bonus content, you will get more blocks that you can use to fill in your jumbo quilts. So that's all available, but it is only available till Friday. And the end of Friday, this bonus content goes away. You're still welcome to enroll in Discovering Hidden Quilts. That will be open until the 14th. And then, like I said, that will close also until next year. So I like to take everybody through at the same time. So as I do my lives in our private Facebook group, everybody's kind of at the same place. So I can talk about what we're doing, answer questions, and move things along. So I hope you will join me in Discovering Hidden Quilts. It's a fun workshop, class. Like I said, you're welcome to ask questions all along. I do answer those questions usually within 24 hours. I do take Sundays off, so I don't answer any questions. So if they came after I went to bed on Saturday, they won't get answered until Monday morning. But I do keep close eye on any questions so I can answer them. And I do a monthly Q&A so that I can answer any questions you have there. We can share what we're creating in that private Facebook group, and you can bounce ideas off of each other. We would really like to have more participation in that. So we hope that you will join us and we can all learn and grow together. Thanks so much for being with me today. I hope you learned something. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.